Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a most unique and rewarding transit. Welcome to your magic moon message. This is Zepistila. All right, the moon is in Taurus. The sun is in Scorpio. A lot can be said about this, but the most important thing to kind of bring to mind is that you are right now at the precipice of harvesting 6 months worth of gold. I'm just gonna call it as it is, gold. I was gonna say value and stuff, but gold. You're getting ready to harvest more wealth than you've ever harvested in any respective cycle in your life. Okay, unless you were born last year or the year before, then you gave birth to a supernatural alien baby. And is that a good congratulations? Because that child is gonna have psychic battles with you in their teens, and my bad. Anyway, yeah, so for you people watching this who are older than like 2 or 5 or 10, because the new generation is just unnecessarily weird. So they level up different from us. It's so weird. Like, how you, like, some of you are giving birth to children born just knowing stuff that takes the normal person a few years to learn. You have weird kids. No offense. Weird isn't supernatural. Anyway, yes. Yeah, y'all, congratulations. This is it, y'all. This is very much so it. Because Uranus is involved with Jupiter, this is like a magic beanstalk, just instantly giving you the returns, okay? You want to get excited about this. I'm going to break this down because it's literally, like, this is a full moon anyone who knows anything has been waiting for or just preparing for a minute, okay? You're going to hear some stuff about don't manifest or do spell work during the eclipse. If you want to believe that, you can. If you want to do it, you could thank yourself later. It's really more so discernment and just conscious intent. Energy like an eclipse is just really more potent. So if it usually takes like 5 millimeters of a solution before the chemical equation combusts on itself, the eclipse will just make stuff more sensitive. So if it usually takes 0.5 liters of a substance, in an eclipse it might take 0.1 liter. That doesn't mean you still shouldn't do alchemy. It's just saying to adjust and calibrate relative to that. And that's just an analogy. All right, cool. Let's break this down because this, okay. Mercury, Mars, Sun, and Scorpio. All right, you got the god of war, and then Hermes, all right, just preparing all sorts of debauchery and chaos in preparation for Sagittarius. It is a war path that is being walked on right now. This is so ironic. All right, and then we have the awareness of this sun, but this is so amazing. The moon is on Uranus and Jupiter, the king of the gods, and the Greco-Roman sky god. Technically Zeus's grandfather. The reason why this is so iconic is, one, Uranus and Jupiter are bringing in this natural sudden awakening of harvesting your apotheosis in the most natural way possible. Everyone collectively, relative to their own social domains, are having to, of course, experience what everyone else is experiencing, but the quality of what they awaken with this is relative to what work you put in the past 6 months to harvest what you're putting in now. The promised land was 6 months ago, guys, when we had Jupiter getting ready to come into Uranus and Taurus with the North Node and Venus. That was a huge, we had made it to the promised land, coming out of whatever old cycles that led us into, this new evolution cycle. So that was when you sowed the seeds for this new level of extraordinary value that may not make the most sense to people because it's ahead of its time. Someone who's talented is good at doing something that everyone recognizes as creative. Someone that's a genius is gifted at looking into things that in that time people don't even know is a thing, right? like seeing the need for electricity when there's no electrical appliances, right? So like everyone kind of faced this individually when it came to their worth and leveling up their self-esteem to accept more than what they were at the time currently worth. And you activated it coming into Leo season. That gave you the courage to bring your value on stage and begin to integrate this energy. All right. And now that Venus retrograde has swagged you up and re-evaluated what brings passion to your heart, now we are harvesting the seeds you planted on Uranus and on Jupiter. We didn't have a Sun Jupiter conjunct, but still, while Jupiter was going through here, it's going to set up the subsequent Sun Jupiter 6 months. So this cycle is going to bring some of the greatest explosion of wealth in so many people around the world. The reason why it's going to detonate a lot of people's finances and bring a lot of people into bankruptcy or have people going through financial times is because the past 6 months, instead of applying the proper integrity to enable a harvest to come through, they were squandering their resources. They weren't taking advantage of that time. We only have this once a year. So the next year will be the next time you are able to plant these seeds, especially at this quality. So what on a surface level, this is going to increase your ability to make so much more money because now you're harvesting the quality of what you can monetize with. But on the deep core level, this is an activation and awakening of harnessing pure energy. So now a game changer is here, especially considering that X is openly intending to become a financial platform. You want to follow X and the genius of X. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like Elon Musk or not, you want to follow X and the development of that, because this is going to tie in ridiculously to Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, where this might really be an alternative for many to, and see, there could be theories around this to where don't trust Elon Musk or not. Use discernment. Like you'll know whether you should be able to personally for you trust or not. But just the fact that these things are happening out here, something to keep in mind, because things are getting super financial. So with that being said, your capacity and ability to harness your own energy to enhance your body and mind functions, and then also create magical abilities to, warp reality based on that, is a fundamental ability that everyone has the ability to do. Everyone has the ability to run for president if you're a certain age and you have certain, qualifications, but not there's only one president. You feel me? So like everyone has the ability to harness energy. Many are called, but few are chosen. Few are going to actually believe in themselves to activate those neural pathways that they have been building over the past 6 months through this persistence to actually harness this. This is what leads into that split of people who actually use the gifts they got versus those who buried those talents in the ground. Okay, so this is going to be one of the most major awakenings and transforming your capacity to harness the supernatural in a realistically practical way beyond what is considered normal. A lot of the preparation we've come into has led to this moment. And not only is this full moon harvesting the new moon in Libra, which activated these new superpowers, it's taken the activation of this new sun moon Libra power on the south node that unlocked these super abilities and super self. And it is now purifying the depth of quality of that power through Scorpio, and we're getting ready to harvest that. Okay, and this is where the unique, innate quality of your body and DNA and structure is now really being revealed. This was revealed moon in Aries 2 days ago, but now with the moon in, of course, Taurus, what was revealed conceptually, you're gaining more of a radical, physiological, natural understanding of that's sensual and that you can touch. And for many people will be a definitive breakthrough in energy. We're going to carry this harvest out through the moon in Leo, where we're going to have that third quarter square, and we'll go back on the stage again to present how much we've grown, and that'll be our high score. So really enjoy this harvest process. It's going to be one of them. It's going to be one of them. we have to also keep in mind that 6 months ago, when we conjuncted these planets, Uranus namely, now the sun is getting ready to oppose them. The sun conjunction in Aries is getting ready to oppose Jupiter in Scorpio Taurus. And this is what's going to now, relative to that 0 degree to 180 degree cycle, harvest this first level of evolution. This is huge. We're going to see it socially with the events that occur to reflect this, but most importantly, you're going to feel it with yourself first. Libra season was what activated the definition of power through your character, and this full moon is what's going to unlock this energetically and purely. And like, I'm not listening to idiots who act like they know stuff and don't. And when you point out these things, they feign confusion and act like you're saying something weird. You're going to see a lot of this come up because you have people like, I'm going to be honest with you. There's what's popular in culture, and then there's what's the truth. Like, this is going to be one of those major flips where that whole social construct of like making fun of people who are magically inclined and acting like that shit's flipping. Now, if you out here and you don't know basic magic, you look stupid, my G. You don't know your moon sign? You're dumb as fuck, my dog. Like, that's not, before where you can get away with bragging about not knowing this shit, we're not in those times anymore. You really could get got. You could rely on these old traditional, showings of machismo and pride. That shit'll get you killed. Okay, like, this is a whole different era, and you're going to feel this. So the controversial nature of Uranus is feeling that pressure of society to have you conform to an old model that it's not compatible with you. You're going to be dealing with people who are Windows XP. All right, they're like the iPhone 4 and your iPhone 14, and they're not compatible. And because your iPhone 14, their program cannot run advanced apps. Their brain program cannot run the advanced apps that the iPhone 14 can. So to them, it doesn't even look real. They don't see it. And they're going to feel that controversy of, oh, stop making this up or stop doing this. It's not that you're making stuff up. It's that you're dealing with people who are slower. They don't run the new programs you run. They're an inferior copy. Do you see what I'm getting at here? It's going to frustrate their inferiority complex because most of these people have just acted and looked the part without ever being it ever. So you who actually lives this is going to get under their sin because now you're going to be really naturally, tangibly bringing into reality concepts that to them are just a fantasy. To them doesn't even exist for real. It's like telling people who have never seen an airplane before that you can fly. They looked at those people like crazy. But you are just out here pioneering and innovating consciousness. So be mindful of that because the pressure is going to be there to test if you have the confidence and courage and self-esteem and value with Taurus to now harvest the quality of what you're going to be harvesting. It's just, with the sextile to Neptune and Saturn that will anchor the integrity of these supernatural beliefs. All right. And then with the connection to Venus and Virgo, this is going to very naturally, what's good, man? This is going to very naturally align all of this very perfectly as you cast your net and harvest. This is it, guys. So on both ends, get ready for a transformational turnaround. This is the second part of the I told you so tour. So, oh yeah, it's going to come through. And there's just going to be this frustration from people who around you in society collectively in an ideological sense who gained enough leverage from the short-term victory about lying about the nature and quality of who you are or just having you misconstrued, that's going to be shattered because of this harvest that, the real quality of you is going to do all the talking without you having to explain everything. So just be mindful of that. You're going to feel that very strong. It's going to be certain forces that have to reluctantly admit that they could never touch you, never had anything on you, and you were doing that work. So for those of you who are prepared to harvest this quality, congratulations. The presence of Uranus and Jupiter is going to have this harvest quite immediately. So prepare for unexpected windfalls of income, relationship transformations, and unexpected dynamics. And most importantly, the unlocking of your supernatural ability to harness your own unique energy and understanding what that is. Godspeed. Peace.